Greece, jewel of the Mediterranean. Come, see the wonder. Olive oil, Zeus, souvlaki, Corinthian columns, the Olympics.
And an ancient bloody rivalry.
Okay. Welcome to Rubicon History. This is
An ancient bloody rivalry.
Why do I even bother? I knew it was going to be a mistake trying to do a video on these two. Athens and Sparta. Hard to believe there aren't any YouTube videos discussing the differences between these two. We could spend time focusing on why Athens and Sparta developed into very different civilizations. I could tell you how the mountainous environment of Greece cut individual city-states off from one another, which led to each developing independently. Then I could show you how Athens and Sparta were separated by a mere 132 miles, and I'd say something like, look at how the mountains influenced where people in Greece settled. Then show you a bunch of places around the world that cover the same distance. I could give you a quick historical tidbit about Athens and Sparta joining forces to defeat the Persians during the Persian Wars, then segue into how Athens and Sparta were superpowers of Greece, who led other Greek city-states into all-out war for control of Greece in what's called the Peloponnesian War. But I'm not going to do any of that. Instead, we're going to focus on three major differences between Athens and Sparta, things that even at the smallest glance would be obviously one of these Greek city-states or the other. To do this, I've invited two of my ancestors, Sparta Wolf and Athens Wolf, to share a little bit about each of their Greek city-states. I hope we survive this.
An ancient bloody rivalry.
Right, so Sparta has an oligarchy, which means a small group of elites, or the smart and successful like people, make the decisions for everyone else. One time, there was a Helot uprising. Helot means slave. And because we learned our lesson, the oligarchy became militarized, so our society could become more orderly and disciplined. In short, no more uprisings. And since Sparta is better than everyone else, trade with other inferior civilizations and city-states is not something we like to do.
This is Sparta!
Athens enjoys a civilized government with a direct democracy, which means citizens get an actual vote for the choice they wanted. Athens uses a fair and impartial lottery system to choose eligible citizens, so males, non-foreigners, basically about 10 to 20% of the population, could participate in governing the daily lives of Athenians. Athens is very much interested in the trade of goods and ideas with other civilizations and city-states. We are progressive in our pursuit of knowledge and therefore keep our borders open.
An ancient bloody rivalry.
In Sparta, boys leave their homes at age 7 to begin military training, to learn to fight. They are taught the usual things, how to read and write, basic arithmetic, and how to use weapons and kill people with their bare hands. That's right, from age 7 until they join the regular army at age 20, Spartan males are given a military upbringing to learn discipline and to fight and kill their enemies. We have to treat our soldiers harshly to ensure obedience during combat training, but soldiers can finally retire from the military at age 60 if they make it that far, the schlubs. It is an honor to die in combat. We are the premier fighting force of the ancient world.
In Athens, our children are educated in much the same way you might learn today. Athenians believe in a well-rounded education, for males anyway, that includes learning math, writing, philosophy, public speaking, and the arts. Our education also included sports, as Athenians believe in strengthening both the mind and body. A balanced education is supremely civilized. Once they turn 18, males are expected to be active citizens participating in community and government initiatives.
An ancient bloody rivalry.
In Sparta, women have unprecedented freedoms. Women in Sparta can own land and are given a public education. In order to be fit and tough enough to raise a strong Spartan man, which is a woman's primary goal, Spartan women are allowed to exercise and play sports. Spartan women are known for their sharp wit and are allowed to engage in political banter with men and mingle with men in public spaces. Sparta knows that their women are better than any man from any other city-state or any other civilization.
Women in Athens? You mean when they are not in the kitchen? Yes, well, Athenian women enjoy a lot of freedoms. They get to become wives for Athenian men. They get to teach the daughters how to work in the kitchen. So they can't own property, or vote, or serve in government, or be alone in some public places, or speak out of turn, or be educated at all unless they are super wealthy. So what if they can't do that stuff? They can still be practically forced into marrying blood relatives at age 14, so... Overall, what is the thing Athens and Sparta have most in common? A. They are both Greek city-states. B. The roles of their women. C. The education of their children. Or D. Their type of government. If you picked A, you're right. Athens and Sparta had very little in common, except for the fact that they both lived in Greece. To review, Athens and Sparta, well, they couldn't be more different. Despite existing a relatively short distance from each other, Athens and Sparta had different views on government, roles of women, education, and open borders. Pretty much anything you can think of, culturally and otherwise. Their differences made it impossible for ancient Greece to find lasting unity, and Greece eventually crumbled due to the long Peloponnesian War, and Greece centered around, well, you guessed it, Athens and Sparta. And now you know, and there's no turning back.
Weak Greek says what?
What? Oh, you are such a meathead.
You know, even someone who can kill you with one arm tied behind his back has feelings, you know.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Remember that time we teamed up and kicked Persia's butt?
Do I? They made a big oopsie trying to conquer us, didn't they, Pally? Team Greek!